Welcome back to the Professor's Lab. I'm Professor V, and this is Top 4, Game 2 of the League Cup that happened at Die Hard Games on November 4th, 2023. If you didn't know, Die Hard League happens every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central at Die Hard Games, featuring casual and tournament play of whatever format anyone wants, really. More info in the description. League Challenge Thursday, November 16th at 6 p.m. Central at Die Hard Games. And check out Pokemon's event locator for more premier events at Die Hard Games, such as League Challenges, League Cups, and pre-releases. Please hit that like button right quick. Subscribe to this channel. Ring the bell for notifications. Say what you need to say in the comments, and all that other good free stuff. But anyways, let's get into this game 2. Charizard versus Lost Zone. Looks like Charizard chose to go second here. So our Lost Zone player. Starting things out with Spiritomb in the active spot. Dragonite V hitting the bench. Energy attached to the Spiritomb. And pass. Not the explosive Battle VIP pass, Nest Ball, Flower selecting turn we normally see with our Lost Zone turn ones. But either way, our Charizard player is going to start off with the Battle VIP pass. You guys know you can only play it on your first turn, but when you do, search your deck for 2 basic Pokemon. Nest Ball being played as well. You could search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it onto the bench. Pidgey and Arceus V found off of that. Battle VIP pass and Manaphy being prioritized here with this Nest Ball. Maybe would like to see a second Charmander instead of that Manaphy here, but just depends on what's in hand. Maybe there's one in hand already. Nope, just an energy, so they can retreat if they want to protect that Charmander, because it could be lights out for it with a Cramorant. Choice Belt being put on to the benched Arceus V, and Iono being played. Each player shuffles their hand, puts it at the bottom of their deck, and then draws for remaining prize cards. Tricky giving the opponent more cards than they had in hand, I think, but there was a chorus in there, so maybe not the worst. Now we see all the boss search cards on the right. Alright, anything else for our Charizard player to do? Nope. Just pass. Comfey being put onto the bench. Hisuian Heavy Ball being played. The opponent looks at their prize cards. They could switch to Hisuian Heavy Ball with the basic Pokemon they find there, shuffle the prizes, and set them back out. Alright, we are looking for a Cramorant and 4 cards in the Lost Zone. Manually retreat that Spiritomb into Comfey, and the first flower selecting coming down. Finding that VIP pass, but that's an easy choice at least. It goes to the Lost Zone. The other card goes into the hand. Switch card being played to switch into the second Comfey, second flower selecting, looking at the top 2. They keep a card, they send the other to the Lost Zone. That's pretty tough. 2 energy cards. I think there are fewer lightning than water, but it looks like we're going to go for the lightning to send to the Lost Zone. Just depends on the list. Nest Ball being played to search the deck for a basic Pokemon and put it onto the bench. That Radiant Greninja coming down. That's why the Manaphy's over here on the left side. Whoops, wasn't in full screen, but I'm not going to worry about that and start over. That's why the Manaphy was put down over here on the left side to protect against things like this Radiant Greninja, which likes to do attack damage to the bench. Manaphy protects the bench from attack damage. Concealed cards for that Radiant Greninja being used to discard an energy card and draw 2 more cards. Shout out to the ability markers. Course Experiment being found and played here. Course Experiment, the powerful Lost Zone supporter, lets you look at the top 5 cards of the deck. You add 3 of them to your hand and send the other 2 to the Lost Zone. Definitely some stuff to think about here. Super Rod and Nest Ball going to the Lost Zone. You play multiples of those, and the rest of it was energy, I think. Artisan coming down. That stadium lets you search your deck for a basic non-rule box Pokemon and put it onto the bench. There's the Cramorant. I see 4 cards in the Lost Zone, and I see a Cramorant. That lone Charmander is going down. To see the Radiant Greninja wasn't near attacking at the point, so potentially that Manaphy should be the second backup Charmander here. Switch card into the Cramorant. Cramorant attacks for free because there's 4 or more cards in the Lost Zone thanks to its Lost Provisions ability. Spit instantly for 110 on that Charmander, taking the KO. Arceus V gets put into the active spot and play resumes on Charizard's side. Artisan being used here to search the deck for a Charmander and add it to the bench. Let's see, Lumineon, Ultra Ball. So actually that Ultra Ball being played, discarding Lumineon, and useless Battle VIP Pass to search the deck for a Pokemon. That Arceus V coming down. Arceus V is going to use its Starbirth V-Star power ability to search the deck for 2 cards. Any 2 cards. Add them to the hand. You don't even need to show the opponent. I guess you go for a Rare Candy and Pidgeot here, right? Unless the Rare Candy is already in hand. That could be the case too. Rare Candy evolve into Pidgeot. Rare Candy lets you skip that middle evolution. Pidgeot uses its Quick Search ability to search the deck for a card, any card, and you don't have to show the opponent. Let's see, what would they find? Another Charmander here? Nope. Actually going to go for an Arven first, not even reveal that. Quick search card. Arven lets you search your deck for a item card and a tool card. Let's see what they find off this Arven. The Defiance Band and a Lost Vacuum. Okay. Defiance Man, just because you grab something, you grab a tool if you've got it to thin the deck, and then the Lost Vacuum to get rid of this Artisan to kind of slow down the Lost Zone player's setup. Maybe there's a Battle VIP pass in hand to Lost Zone with the Lost Vacuum. Fire Energy attached to the Charmander on the bench. And passes things over. Okay. Did not play that Lost Vacuum on the Artisan. I guess there wasn't going to be a KO taken, so it's okay to leave that in play for another turn. Alright, what did I do? Concealed Cards was used. Let me back things up here. I kind of missed what was happening. Alright. We're going to start things here on the Lost Zone player's side again. Concealed Cards, discarding a card. Drawing 2 cards, thanks Greninja. Escape Rope put into the Lost Zone. Interesting. Okay, so unless I'm tripping, we'll see if our players correct it. But yes, it looks like there was a Concealed Cards plays. 2 cards were drawn, and the Escape Rope was put into the Lost Zone where it should have just been kept in the hand. I'm sure this was an honest mistake. These Lost Zone decks they know to draw 2 cards with Comfey and put one in the Lost Zone. They know to draw 2 cards with Greninja and keep them in the hand. So I'm guessing there was just a honest mistake there. After a long day of playing some Pokemon, kind of just confusing the Comfey flower selecting with the Greninja concealed cards. We'll see, the players could even potentially correct this or catch it, and it may not matter in the end as well. But unless I'm tripping, let me know in the comments if I am too. But I think that's what was going down. Honest mistake, right? And then an Escape Rope is played. The opponent promotes a new active Pokemon first, and then you do the same. Manaphy comes up, and Comfey comes up. Comfey uses a flower selecting here. We're debating. We had a 4 before the rope. And now another escape rope goes to the lost zone. Okay. 3 escape rope down now. And course experiment being played. Take a look at the top 5. Lost zone 2. That Comfey and Lost Vacuum going to the lost zone. Let's see what our count is at now. Was a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So Mirage Gate is online. Switch cart, switching into that Cramorant. Gonna hold off on the Mirage Gate and just take the easy KO on the Manaphy. Not before attaching a Water Energy to that Bench Dragonite V. Debating on using that Path to the Peak. I think now is the perfect time to use that Path to the Peak to shut off those Rule Box Pokemon abilities and take the KO with Cramorant Spit instantly for free thanks to Lost Provision. 110 damage. Knocking out that Manaphy. Arceus V-Star comes into the active spot. So there we go. That was a heads-up play by our Charizard player last turn. They grabbed the Arven, or they grabbed the Lost Vacuum and the Defiance Band off of the Arven, but didn't play the Lost Vacuum. I was confused about that, but oh, it was to save it for the Path to the Peak in case that were to come down, of course. So now Lost Vacuum sending Defiance Band to the Lost Zone to send that Path to the Peak to the Lost Zone. Our Charizard's Infernal Rain ability is online, but not needed exactly here, as an energy is attached to the Charmander on the bench. Pidgeot's going to use Quick Search to search the deck for a card, any card. Most likely the whatever's missing, the Rare Candy or the Charizard. To evolve this Charmander and power up the Arceus so it could start attacking. Rare Candy, Charizard, Infernal Rain. When you evolve it, search the deck for up to 3 fire energy and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. 3 energy going on to the active Arceus V-Star, of course. Powering it up, it can now attack with its Trinity Nova, is it? Supernova, whatever it's doing. It's doing 200 damage and accelerating basic energy from the deck to Pokemon V on your side of the field. Boss's orders coming down, bringing up that Dragonite V. And with the Choice Band, what are we at? Choice Belt. It's doing 230 damage, enough to take the KO on the Dragonite V. Energy can be accelerated from the deck to Pokemon V in play, but no need to power up that Arceus anymore, put any more energy on it. Taking a look through the deck, shuffling things up off of the Arceus attack, and our Lost Zone player is deciding on which Pokemon to promote. Of course, it's Comfey. Play resumes on the Lost Zone side. Flower selecting, take a look at the top 2. Get rid of the 4th rope, send it to the Lost Zone, keep that other card. It's a lot more important, right? I'm sure we're at 10 in the Lost Zone now, so Lost Mine is online. Radiant Greninja discards an energy to draw 2 cards. Sableye coming down. Seeing what energies are available in the discard pile here to shuffle back in with Escape Rope. Super Rod. Purple, blue, and yellow going back into the deck there. Mirage Gate coming down. If there's 7 or more in the Lost Zone, look through the deck and attach 2 different basic energy to your Pokemon in any way you like. Psychic energy going on to the Sableye, of course. Water energy going on to the active Comfey so it can retreat. If there are 10 in the Lost Zone or more, Sableye can use its Lost Mine attack to put 12 damage counters on the opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. I'm going to retreat into that Sableye. If there's exactly 10 here, we should be 1 short with that escape rope. That shouldn't be in there, but There could have even been a way for the player to get another one in the Lost Zone this turn anyways with the Comfey to be able to attack with Sableye. Lost Mine, 12 damage counters. How are we going to spread them? We're debating here, making the biggest of brain plays, spreading this damage exactly how it should be. I can't really see the numbers on those dice, so we'll just roll with things here. With a Lost City being put into play, if Pokemon's KO'd, it gets sent to the Lost Zone instead of going to the discard. So that's why we see that um, Arceus knock out that Sableye and send it to the Lost Zone. Thanks, Lost City. That Sableye is not coming back this game. Comfey being promoted on the right, and play resumes on the Lost Zone side. Got that Echoing Horn and Boss's Orders in hand. Deadly combo. Not before Greninja, concealed cards, discarding. No, we're putting cards into the Lost Zone off of Greninja. There we go. We caught it that time. Nicely done. Those cards go into the hand. Next is a Flower Selecting. Looking at the top two. And we're going to send that Roxanne to the Lost Zone. I think we're playing double Roxanne, so that's not a problem. Course Experiment being played. Looking at the top 5 cards, keeping 3 of them, Lost Zoning the others. We've got plenty in the Lost Zone now, just making our way through the deck as Comfey and Manaphy hit the Lost Zone. Very nice full art Course Experiment. Comfey we got going on here. We got this Alt-Art Charizard and Pidgeot, whatever they're calling them now. Switch card, switching Comfey into Cramorant. Cramorant will spit innocently onto the opposing Arceus V-Star for 110 damage, and play will resume on Charizard's side. 3 prizes to 4 prizes in this mid-game. Let's see what our Charizard player can do. Maybe prize deny with Arceus. Go to the bench and attack with the higher HP Charizard. It just depends on how much damage was spread on it. I can't really see. Either way, Pidgeot's going to use its quick search ability to quickly search the deck for a card, any card. Maybe a way to switch. Boss's Orders doesn't matter too much here. You could knock out the Greninja or a Comfey. I don't think there's any way to heal. I don't think you put down any more Charmander or low HP Pokemon because of Sableye threat. We're sending this Cramorant to the Lost Zones, removing attackers from play. Let's see what the grab was and what the game plan is. Boss's Orders, it ends up being to bring up that Greninja. It can do a good amount of damage, so we're going to take it out. Arceus V-Star takes the KO on the Greninja. It goes to the Lost Zone thanks to Lost City. No energy will be accelerated by Arceus V-Star. Comfey will come into the active spot and start things off on the Lost Zone side, top decking that Course Experiment. Plenty of cards in the Lost Zone, but definitely ways to get through the deck, starting with Flower Selecting, looking at the top 2, sending the Mirage Gate into the Lost Zone. I missed what the other card was, Lost Vacuum. That could get rid of Lost City. The Choice Belt doesn't matter at this point because this Arceus V-Star is probably going to get KO'd anyways. Energy attached to the active Comfey. 4 cards remaining in deck. There is an option for Roxanne. if the second Roxanne is in hand or in the deck. So our player is going to take a look at their discard pile, see what's in there, better inform these next decisions here. Retreating into the Cramorant. Cramorant's attacking for free, 110 damage right now. Not before a Lost Vacuum, sending Battle VIP Pass to the Lost Zone and Lost City to the Lost Zone. You're not getting rid of my attackers anymore, or my support Pokemon. Cramorant spit innocently. Oh, not enough for the KO? Okay, never mind. It would help if these old eyes can see the dice. But no dice with that case, and play will resume on Charizard's side, starting things off with a quick search. 2 prizes left to 4 prizes and 4 cards in deck. Does our Charizard player have a Lost Zone player on the ropes? Quick search, finds a card. I didn't catch what it was. Let's see, boss's orders doesn't make sense here. Maybe a Lost City, another one of those to get rid of the Cramorant. Remove its attacking threat from play, but nope, just a card for later. Arceus V-Star attack and KO Cramorant. Our Charizard player goes down to 1 prize. Comfey comes into the active spot on the Lost Zone side, and play will resume there. Comfey uses flower selecting to look at the top 2 of 3 cards in deck, sending that nest ball to the Lost Zone. Imagine we're going to see a Roxanne this turn. Nope, there's just no way that our Lost Zone player can see to get through this game and come out on top. So they are going to concede, save some time, and move on to Game 3. Our Charizard player was able to bring things back from the previous video. Now both of our players are 1-1 in this top 4. We're going to Game 3 in the next video. What do you think of this video and the commentary? Please let me know in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time in the Professor's Lab.